Hello, everyone. Today we are here with Nick from Unholy Spirit Productions in the Los Angeles area. He is a young and upcoming film producer. So, Nick, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
How you doing, guys? I'm Nick. I'm from Southington, Connecticut. I've been doing film for about 4 years professionally, but I've been doing it my entire life as a little kid, starting with stop motion animation with Legos, and from there it just kind of kicked out into a giant real thing. So it's a dream come true. I'm 21 years old, and I've been traveling the world, filming things from live concerts, shows, commercials, documentaries, TV miniseries, everything. You name it, I've done it. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm just ready to see what's in store.
So, Nick, why don't you tell us a little about Unholy Spirit Productions, when it started and how it started?
Unholy Spirit Productions was a company I started about 4 years ago. It started in New England, Connecticut specifically, in like underground basement shows and like American Legion halls doing punk rock. I started doing like live videos. And the reason behind the name on Holy Spirit Productions, I was working at Graycom Studio in Baltimore, and things just weren't really working out the way they were promised or the way I thought it was going to be. I was doing stop motion animation, a TV show, and then after that I kind of moved on to doing this other project for another person, writing and editing. And it just didn't work out. It kind of became a standstill thing. It just kind of got let go and they replaced me. And it kind of set me on a downward spiral. I thought, maybe film is not for me. Maybe that was a sign. Maybe I'm wasting my time and I should just get a degree doing communications and find something else. But in my heart, I knew this is what I love. And I knew that I couldn't stop there. So I made my own company, and I was angry. I was mad at the time. And within a week, I had people calling me, and I was doing music videos, and it just, from then on, from the second I named the company to now, it's been a blessing. And even though it's unholy, it's been a blessing.
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself, where you came from, and kind of why you came into the film industry?
Yeah, so I was born with a cleft lip and palate, and when I was younger, like elementary school, the name calling and getting picked on, it was a thing. It happens with everybody at that age, but it was definitely a thing that kind of affected me a little bit. And for me, film was an escape. That was like, wow, I don't have to be the kid that's getting name called, or in film, you could be anything. Anything is possible. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. Like, anything can happen. And to me, that was just like the coolest thing ever. And the second I realized like you could be something greater than what people call you, you could create something incredible no matter what you look like. It doesn't matter. I knew, this is what I wanted to do. Like, maybe I'm not a person who should be in front of the camera, but I could be behind the camera and just make amazing things happen. I love making movies. This is my drug, what I say. And I guess it's a healthy drug. It's a healthy addiction. But this is what it is, and I love it.
What is the creative process you go through when shooting a short film or a music video?
And like the first step is coming up with an idea. I always think of, my company slogan is forever pushing the limits, right? So how do you push the limits? There's a million people out there doing film that are doing the same thing you're doing, but how do you do something different, right? And one thing I like to do is each video I make, I want it to be different and somehow better, if not better, just completely different from the other stuff I'm doing. How do I make these things catch somebody's eye and be like, whoa, I've never seen this before. Maybe I've seen this type of stop motion video, but how do I make that different? All right, let's get some clay and we'll make some blood when somebody gets their arm cut off, or let's throw some like heavy metal music behind it and just make Legos look like hardcore. And going through that process, it's a lot of it's in the mind, but also writing stuff down helps, because if you think of something, you should just always write it down. I always have my phone ready. Like, my notes in my phone are just insane.
Okay. So what book would you recommend to someone just starting out in the film industry?
Actually, I don't really read any books, but I watch movies.
Okay.
So I could definitely recommend a movie to watch. A good film to watch to help you, for independent filmmakers or people who want to go indie, is SLC Punk. You don't have to be into punk rock music or any of that to appreciate the film. but it's a really like DIY, do-it-yourself type film. Instead of using like, you know, a track and having like a camera on a dolly and stuff like that, they were using like a wheelchair, somebody holding it, and so, like stuff like that is so simple. And another thing I recommend too is any DVD or any movie you own that you have, watch the director commentary or the behind the scenes features, and I swear you can make a movie with all the stuff in your house. Like that's all you need. You don't need fancy equipment or any of this stuff. You could make do with anything, and you'd be surprised like what a lot of these people do. Like,
we see that you have an office in Japan. Can you tell us a little about what you do in Japan and why you have an office in Japan?
Yeah, so I have like a little place in Japan that I do my stuff out of, but a lot of it's done at local venues and just out in the public and out about in at places. But what I do in Japan is I do commercials and music videos, and I just shot a documentary over there called Danger Boys, Punks in Osaka, and it sheds light on the punk rock culture and music, underground music scene in Osaka, Japan. And becoming a filmmaker in a foreign country is a lot easier than you might think. At first it's hard to find something, but once you do, if you show people your passion, I mean, we're from America. We should have a lot of pride where we're from because a lot of people take our word for stuff, you know? It was easier for me to make contacts over there and get stuff done and make stuff happen than it is over here. Just being the foreigner and having a camera in my hand. Well, one guy said to me, I asked him, you know, why do you trust me that I'm a good filmmaker? And I think it was kind of funny. He said, well, if you came up to me and said, are you good at making sushi? And I said, yes, you'd probably just believe me because I'm Japanese. I believe you because you're American. You have a camera. Okay, you're an American filmmaker. Wow, I never thought of it that way. So, you know, your word goes very far in foreign countries.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur just starting out? They have an idea, they're not sure what to do or where to go. What's one piece of advice you can give to them?
Yeah, the one piece of advice I would say, and even if I could go back in time and kind of tell myself like a little encouragement, something to keep me upright and positive, I would say just keep at it, keep doing it 100% because nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to hold your hand through it, at least at first. You know, everybody, it sounds really hipster and cliche if I say this because you hear it a lot, but like honestly, it's a real thing. If you love something and that's your favorite thing to do, then like you have nothing to worry about. You just keep at it and keep doing it. Try your best, you know, keep the heart that you have, like do it because nobody's going to do that for you. You're your own person. You have your own story to be told. If you don't tell that story, then it's never going to get told. Nobody's going to write that but yourself. So write it. You have nothing to lose. Nobody tells you you're a director or you're a producer or writer, anything. You decide that. You know, if you wait around for other people to tell you stuff, then you're waiting around for the wrong thing. You can't wait. You just got to do. And some people might give you flack for it, you know, like, and it might come from people you might not expect, like family members. I hear it all the time. You know, my parents and my brother are very supportive of what I do, but other people in my family, you know, they don't know what I do. They think I'm like some punk who just like kind of bums around. And I would always hear for the longest time in the summers, like, oh, you don't have, like, get a real job. What are you doing? What are you doing? And nobody believed in me. I was really shocked. Like, wow, this is my family. You guys are supposed to be supportive. You know, my parents see this going. My brother sees it going. My grandparents see it going. Actually, one of my uncles, he would always be like, why don't you just mow a lawn and make money? Like, what are you doing? You're a bum. And now this guy is like the first guy to like all of my stuff on social media. Staying level-headed and just doing what you love, you know, you gotta just do it. You really do. And it doesn't matter who's there with you. You gotta believe in yourself, regardless of who gives you flack or whatnot. And like those people who give you crap, they're gonna be wanting to hang out with you whatever mansion you're living in 10 years from now. And like I said, it's not even about that. That's just a bonus. You know, when you do something you love, that's what it's about. Money's a bonus.
So there you have it. This was Nick from the Los Angeles area. He is working on being a film creator. We just want to thank you for having us out here in the LA area. It's been amazing. And again, guys, he's 21 years old. If you're questioning, should I do this? Should I jump into being an entrepreneur, into creating my business? Here he is. He's proof. He's out here grinding daily. He may not be where he wants to be right now, but he's going to get there, and he's going to keep grinding for that. So go, and grind. So again, we want to thank you for having us, Nick.
Yeah, thank you.
Just let our people know where they can find you if they want to look you up as well.
Yeah, so I'm all over social media. My personal account is on Instagram, Unholy Spirit. Little advertising there for my company. And then my company stuff, www.unholyspiritproductions.com. You can find us on social media, at Unholy Spirit Productions, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And then my recent documentary, Danger Boys, you can find it on all social media at Danger Boys Movie. And keep an eye out for that. It's coming out in December. So Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure.